fellow artists. So today we're going to do an art journal called Collage Person, and you're going to need this template collage sheet. So you should get that up at the front, and you're going to turn to just the next blank page in your journal. Remember how we did all those backgrounds? So here's just the next journal page. So something that has your pre-made backgrounds on it. And the first thing we're going to do, because we want to let it dry, is we're going to watercolor on the background, so on top of all this, with something that makes it look like sky and grass or ground. So I'm going to use green for the grass or ground and blue for the sky. Up front you'll find some little dishes for water, some watercolor brushes and some watercolors. You're going to do what's called a wash, and it might be helpful if you take your page and you separate it out from the other pages like that. It doesn't matter if you use like a collage page. Here's a collage page or a stamped page. It doesn't matter, okay? Just one of the pre-prepared backgrounds. So I'm gonna take my watercolor brush and I'm gonna activate the green and the blue with some water. And I'm just gonna make the sky blue and then fade kind of into the green. So I'm gonna go blue sky here, add lots of water. Watercolor likes water. And it doesn't have to be super dark. Watercolor does dry lighter. So if you get it super dark and you're a little worried about it, don't worry too much because it will dry lighter. The pens that we used on this paper that we did like our stenciling, those are actually water soluble, so they might bleed a little bit, and that's okay. We kind of want to have this watery, flowy look. Okay, so now I'm just adding water down here. You can see that the green is starting to bleed, which again I said is perfectly fine with me. I'm just adding some water, and then I'm going to start doing the land. So here's the land. I'm just going to kind of blend it up. This is not watercolor paper, it's just sketchbook paper, so it's going to kind of wrinkle, and I'm okay with that. You can be okay with that. We just are kind of making a wash before we do anything else, and we're going to let this dry. So this is going to probably be a 2-day project. You can get a lot done in one day because look, I'm just doing this all here. It's not taking me a lot of time. One thing you might want to think about is doing a little bit darker green down at the bottom, so like a heavier application of the watercolor down at the bottom, or more, adding more layers of watercolor down at the bottom to make it look more like this is the ground. And then same with the sky, you can add a little bit more heavier up towards the top to make it look a little bit more like the sky, okay? So that's the watercolor part of the collage person. You're gonna set this aside on your table, let it dry, and you're gonna do the next part while this is drying. All right, so while your paper is drying from the watercolor, you're gonna get out this sheet and we're going to make a collage person. So here is the body, the arms, the legs. These are like also arms and legs if you want to make them kind of jointed at the elbow. Okay, there's some hats here, and then you're gonna add a head from a magazine. So what you're gonna first do, it says to use rough cutout shape, glue decorative paper on back, and then fussy cut around the shape. So when I say rough cut, if I'm going to cut out this leg, because I need a person with 2 arms, 2 legs, okay, I'm going to rough cut out this leg. So it's going to look like that. So you're going to do that for all of the pieces that you need. Just in this tutorial, I'm just going to start with that. And then you're going to glue them down to either some of the collage paper that we have in our scrap bin. So I have some of these pre-printed collage papers. This is some of our paste paper. You can use the paste paper, it looks really fabulous. Or you can go through a magazine, and this is kind of what I like to do. The National Geographics are great for this, and you can find things that are in the color that you want. So if I wanted green, or this is fantastic. Here is a great image that I could glue this on. So I just want to show you, here's some pinks if I wanted pink. So you can use kind of what's in here's some green, here's this gravel would be great for a body, leg, arm. So you can kind of go through, here's some nice grass. So you can go through and find textures of, field, sky, land. I just thought this lizard was really cool. So, you could take the texture from that. Here's some rock. So you can take any of those ideas. You can even do like people, like here's a dress. So I'm gonna probably do this dress here. It'll probably just fit. So I cut out this texture of this dress, and I'm just going to cut her out a little bit more so I know the space that I'm working with. So I want this texture on this leg. I'm going to turn the texture over and glue the leg onto the back. So I have glue stick. All right, I got interrupted, so I'm back. I'm gonna put glue stick on the back of the leg that I rough cut out. And you wanna use a good amount of glue. And you're going to glue it to the back of whatever texture you cut out. And you wanna make sure that you glue it so that you have enough for the whole leg, okay? And you wanna flatten it out with your fingers. And then you're going to do what I call fussy cut. So what fussy cut is you go around the exact image and you are very precise in your cutting. Okay, so you're cutting out this leg in a precise manner. You're gonna do this for all the arms, the two arms, the two legs, the trunk or the body. If you want to add a hat, maybe you want to draw your own little template to make wings, or I don't know, a dress or a shirt. Okay, but there is my leg. I have some other arms. Here's an arm that I fussy cut out, and you can see I have the collage already on it. So here's an arm, here's a leg, here's another arm. I believe I have a leg in here somewhere. Here's some legs. So I'm going to cut out these legs, and here's the body. So I'm going to cut these out. I'll be right back. Alright, so I have two legs. I have the trunk, or the body. I have the arms. And now I need a head. Okay, you can see how these kind of start fitting together. Alright, so you can find lots of heads in magazines. You want to find one that you can cut out easily. So I'm going to use this girl right here. And I do want you to fussy cut around them. So here's my head of my person. Fussy cut means, remember, that you are gently, nicely trimming away the excess or the background. And you want to keep the neck. The neck is important. So there's my head for my person. And I'm just going to kind of rough or dry collage for a minute. So put that back behind here. Here's an arm. Here's an arm. Okay, and here's my legs. So when my paper that I have watercolored is dry, I can just glue this right down on my art journal that has been watercolored, and I'm done. Now, if you'd like a challenge, you can do something else. You can combine these cutouts with actual legs. This is a pair of legs that I cut out from a magazine, and actual arms, so you can find like a model or a person and cut them out. You do need 2 arms, 2 legs, a body, and a head. You also could have the head be not a person. So here's an example where I used a painted picture of a dog as the head. I cut out the arms and legs from a person, and then I actually, for the body, I used an upside down vase. Okay, so the options are limitless. You do need to make a person with 2 arms, 2 legs, a body, and a head. It can be an animal. If you don't like a challenge, you just want to get it done, use the collage sheet. Okay, if you do want a challenge and you think this is a little bit too easy, go ahead and start cutting out arms and legs from a magazine to use. All right, use your creativity. So here's my finished project. I lost the other head when I went to glue it down, so I found a new head. If you think that this is kind of empty, you could add a border with collage material. You could add something in their hand. You could add, you know, clothing. You could add a little dog or cat or cactus or plant or whatever it is that you want. So hope you enjoyed this, and go ahead and start making your process journal collage person.